Hello guys. This is the third ever podcast that I'm making. I'm actually making. If you guys haven't heard, and if you guys haven't seen it before, I've been actually trying to make my own podcast. It's a simple podcast. It's just a 15-minute podcast, and it's just like simple, easy, just easy to digest, and it's just a simple podcast about my experiences, and hopefully about languages too. Because I'm still trying to master languages. I'm still trying to learn languages, and yeah, I'm hoping that I can, with this podcast, I can also try to, make my presence online by using this podcast and using all of the other contents that I'm planning on making. So in this podcast, I'm gonna be talking about more on language learning and all the things that I've just basically comprehended. This is still a raw opinion. This is still a raw opinion that I got because this is just something that I just comprehended just like an hour ago or something. So basically, I just got this inspiration that the key in speaking more in any language, the the key in speaking more in any language is in understanding them. So if you understand more, then that means that you can speak more. And I guess, and I think I've read this. I think I've heard about this before from someone else. This is not actually something new. This is something that has been said by Stephen Krashen before, and this is also something that has been said by um, I forgot his name. He is the founder of one language app called LinkU. Um, Stephen Kaufman. Yeah, Stephen Kaufman said the same thing too. That if you understand, that means that you're going to be able to say it to other people. And so yeah, this I just comprehended this. Like a sudden inspiration just got down on me. It just dawned on me that if you want to speak, you need to understand it first. It's not possible for you to be speaking about something that you don't understand, or at least about something that you haven't heard. So, for example, imagine this. For example, imagine that you, as whatever language speaker are you, then you suddenly join a Discord group full of Chinese speaker, Mandarin speaker, or full of Russian, full of French speaker. Just like the point is, you joined a Discord channel full of a foreign language speaker, a language that is foreign to you. So imagine that, and then imagine you listening to them. Imagine you trying to comprehend what they. No, no, no. Don't even try to comprehend. Imagine you listening to them, without trying to comprehend them, without actually trying to understand what they're trying to say. So imagine that, and then try to think, what if you try to speak of the subject or the topic that they have been speaking? It's not going to be possible because you don't understand what they're speaking. But try to imagine going inside of a Discord channel about that is talking about something that you understand, something that you can understand and you can comprehend. It's more. It's The possibility is higher in that you're going to be able to speak of it later on in the future, rather than when you're in a server full of people you don't understand. Because you don't understand, probably a day or two in the future you will just forget about it, out of the I guess out of the sheer confuse the sheer confusion that you got because of that. So yeah, in the end, I'm truly confident in this. I could be wrong. No, no, no. To be honest, I could be wrong, but no, 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 no. In this one, I think I'm pretty confident in this. That you gotta be like that. You have to understand something before you can speak it, or at least you can. You have to at least have heard of it before, and you got a general idea of it before you can speak it. It's not possible for you to heard something and then speaking of it tomorrow or later on without actually getting a general idea of it. I think so, you know, or at least it has to be like giving you an impression, a big impression or something that you're really into, so it really have to stays inside of your head before you can speak it. So okay, moving on. The point is, if anyone want to speak in any language, then they got to understand what they got to understand first. They got to understand what they're trying to like they got to comprehend more rather than trying to speak more first. Or at least they got to pair them. They got to make them parallel to each other, while they're trying to comprehend, they're trying to speak too. Okay, so that's first. Why did this happen? Why did this dawn on me? Because I am, as an English teacher, this is my second language, but at the same time, I'm still kind of feeling like that it's not natural for me to be speaking this language. So probably it's also because of the influence of the grammar that I've been learning so far. Because in my country, the learning that we're doing with English is full of grammar memorization, and like just focusing more on grammar rather than focusing more on communication. So probably because of that, grammar did help me to an extent in the past, and sometimes it's still helping me even now. But recently I kind of feel like that it's actually getting in the way of me progressing in my language. It's like it's becoming a cage for me to be speaking. Yeah, so it's just it's hindering me from speaking naturally, because I'm trying to speak naturally in English, and the grammar just keeps bugging me. They keep bugging me. They keep hindering me from speaking naturally. And so I also got the wrong idea out of the out of learning English, because I was thinking that like, of course you got to understand, but at the same time you got to practice before you have to, like before you're able to use it. But I don't think so now. If you understand that, then that means that you're going to be able to use it. But if we're talking about mastery, though, using it will give you mastery. So this is like the formula that I just got in mind. That just dawned on me like some days ago. So if you want to do something, that means that you gotta first understand it, comprehend anything that can help you understand it. So after the comprehension period, after you've consumed and then comprehended it, then if you want to communicate it, then you'll be able to, because you have already comprehended it before. But if you want to master it, if we're already talking about mastery, then you gotta try it. You gotta practice it as much as possible. You gotta be repetitive in doing it. So the more you do, the more you'll be closer to mastery. So basically, again, to summarize it, it's just basically, if you want to do, then you gotta understand. If you want to master it, then you gotta do it as much as possible. So comprehend, then take action, repeat the action, then you will receive the mastery. So again, to better summarize it, it's like action comes with comprehension, and mastery comes with action. Yeah, comes with practice, actually, not action, but you get what I mean. So yeah, that's it. So I just feel like, yeah, this dawns on me because I was comparing what I feel when reading in my own native language. My own native language is Bahasa Indonesia. So I was comparing. So basically, it's like this. I also found out that and realized that you got to be low on anxiety level in order to learn more. When you're low on anxiety level, then like you're having fun, or you're feeling like that you're actually getting something out of the learning, then that's going to help you more, rather than you're always trying to put yourself on edge. You're trying to see too far ahead and not being grateful for what you got, in the present. Not that I'm saying that you cannot see too far ahead or you cannot plan out things too much. You can plan out things, but you have to understand that learning a language is going to take some time. And that's why being grateful on the things that you have in the present is really important, because doing that, you will always be happy in every steps that you're going to take. So yeah, it's actually super important to always be like that. This just dawns on me because it was like this, right? Like this dawns on me because I was comparing. So basically, every time I was reading anything in English, I would also always be like focusing more on the words that I don't understand, and probably putting myself on edge because I was subconsciously I was thinking like, oh, why am I not understanding this? Oh, why am I not understanding that? Oh, why didn't I know about this, or why didn't I know about that? Like, so I was basically just really criticizing myself too much, right? And though like actually, although those words are some of those words are actually some things that I've known before, but it's just like I was criticizing why I haven't used them or why I haven't tried using them. Okay, so that's first. And second, then I kind of had this thought that maybe, oh, okay, let's try to compare it to Bahasa Indonesia. Probably let's see if it's going to be if it's going to be the same or if it's going to be a little different. So yeah, I go and open up a Bahasa Indonesia, an Indonesian newspaper Instagram, and I was I was looking and I was analyzing all of the words that are being used there. And what I found out is that many of those words are words that I understand. Some of them are words that I haven't used. I haven't used some of them, but I understand them and I've heard of them, at least heard of them, right? But this is what's surprising. When I saw them, I didn't feel like, although I haven't used them before, I've heard of them, I've understood them, comprehended them probably, because I knew what they mean, I knew what they meant, but at the same time, I didn't feel like I was doing something wrong, or I didn't feel like I was doing something wrong by not speaking of them or by not using them, and then yeah, at the same time, I was also confident that if I really want to, if I really learn about them, and if I really need to, I'll be able to use them. It's just I haven't had the time to use them before. That's it. Like that's the whole problem. I think that's the problem, is that from this I took something that I learned that I cannot be too I cannot be too much on myself. I cannot be too hard on myself. I cannot really criticize myself too much, too extreme, because in the end, even in my own native language, there are still words that I don't understand, or there are still words that I haven't used. It's just like it, and it's not like I cannot use them. Those Bahasa Indonesian words, I can use them because I've understood them, I've comprehended them long ago, and I've actually, those are words that I don't usually use daily, but when I need it, in the past, whenever I need it, I would be able to use them. So from this, I found out that all of those words that I've read online in English, be it in news, be it in Instagram posts, be it in anything, it's not like I don't understand them. It's just, first, I haven't had the time to use them, and second, I'm just not that familiar with them. It's just the time just hasn't come when I have to use them. It's just that, I've understood them probably to high level, and yeah, it's just like I just haven't, I haven't used them. It's just I haven't used them enough. That's it. So like, yeah, it's just, so this drives me to just focus on understanding, and focus on understanding, because once I understand, then I can speak it. Once I understand something, then I can speak it, because I know what they are, I know the meaning. It's just like that. And I should and second, I should also forget about grammar, because the grammar are just caging me, instead of this illusion that if I'm speaking in grammar, in a grammatically correct way, then I wouldn't be making a mistake. When even in Bahasa Indonesia, I am always making mistakes. Like, if we're going according by the grammar rules, then I've always been making mistakes. And the third is that, one thing that I found out too, is that I didn't feel repulsed. I didn't feel repulsed. I didn't feel any repulsive feeling when I was reading the Bahasa Indonesian newspaper. It was because I was familiar with all of the words that were being used in that newspaper, and all of those posts, because I was seeing them on Instagram. So this drives me to, I guess, this is actually, you can say, initiated the thinking that, oh, probably, this made me think that, oh, probably this is because I haven't really read enough. I haven't really read enough. I haven't consumed enough consumed consumed enough materials online. Materials like news, or like podcasts. Maybe it's because I haven't consumed them enough. Maybe because I haven't tried comprehending them enough. Maybe it's because of me. Maybe it's because of I was trying to be perfect, and I was like, maybe those are the things that was happening. And so the steps that I decided to take is, first, to just focus on comprehension, and second, focus on practicing. Oh yeah, I also found out that this was actually not something that I found out just today, but it was actually something that I found out some days ago, is that practice is required too. If you're like, you want to be perfect, then you need to practice. Even though you've already comprehended many things, but you haven't practiced enough, then you will be able to do it, but it will not be perfect. You see, like, you need, if I want to use something, that if I want to use something in any languages, use any words in any languages that I have only seen, that I see for the first time, if I want to use it, then I will be able to use it if I comprehend it. But it will be easier and faster if I already have the necessary practical skills, like speaking, and I'm already used in using the language. It's going to be easier for me to be using that. It's going to be easier for me to use and adopt that. Comparing to, maybe I comprehend it easily, but when I want to use it, if I haven't practiced enough, then most probably I will not be able to use it easily. But if I have practiced enough, then most probably I'll be using it pretty easily, like with ease. It will be easier for me to do that. So yeah, so basically the steps that I decided that I would be taking would be, first, focus on comprehension. Second, focus on practicing too. And third, well, actually, this is the first one. This third one is connected to the this third one is connected to the first one. Is that I should be focusing on comprehending all of the materials that I can find online, and I should consume as wide as possible. I should consume materials from different sectors to just really help me understand the language better. And I guess that's it for today's for today's podcast. And if you guys have any question, feel free to leave a comment below if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're not watching on YouTube, feel free to DM me on Instagram. And that's it from me. Oh yeah, by the way, if you guys if you guys want me to talk about something, then feel free to just DM me, or again comment on my comment section on YouTube. And that's all from me. Peace out. And I haven't thought about, I haven't thought out about my outro yet. So if you guys have any suggestions, then feel free to give it to me. Okay, that's it, and that's all from me. Peace out.